What's up, YouTube? It's Bolden Understand. I'm just going to give my post analysis on this AJ and Ngannou fight. What a night for AJ. Over there in Saudi Arabia, AJ delivers 2 knockdowns plus a knockout at the end in the second round. I'll tell you what, AJ is doing his thing. The man is having a bounce back of his life. Now, mind you, I understand this is against an MMA fighter, but I'm not even just talking about what happened against Ngannou. I'm just talking about in general. He spent all last year staying busy, getting back in form, and I think he looks like a completely different fighter with Ben Davison than Derrick James. And this is no shot at Derrick James, but I just thought it wasn't really a match made in heaven when it comes to Derrick James and AJ. I think Ben Davison formulates a plan. I remember when a lot of people try to say AJ should go to America and get an American trainer and he'll be all right. And I always say, I'm like, you don't need an American trainer. You just need somebody that could train you. And not to mention, it's easy to go to America and get an American trainer or just live in America when a lot of the fights are taking place in America. So that part is easy. But now that the fights are, a lot more fights are taking place all over the world, which it already has been, but just more big fights are taking place all over the world. And especially now that Saudi Arabia is hosting a lot of fights and paying the money for it. It's like, AJ, you don't even need to travel all the way to America just to come right back to where you are. I mean, if your coach is not going to go over there where you are to train you, then it's no point. But Ben Davison is pretty much, like I said, a respectable trainer. He's doing his thing. Known for having to work with Tyson Fury when he fought against Deontay Wilder. Known to been working with Devin Haney, and then some other fighters as well that we might not have heard of. But anyway, getting back to this AJ and Ngannou fight. AJ had Ngannou reacting to every feint, first and the second round. Every time AJ would throw a feint, Ngannou would react to it. And also, AJ was using that jab to the body, jab to the chest and everything. Now, Ngannou at the beginning was countering with the hook as AJ would throw the jab to the body and stuff. So he did catch AJ a couple of times. But at the same time, when AJ started throwing feints and he realized Ngannou was biting on the feints, all AJ did a couple of times is he faked with the jab and came over the top with the right. And all 3 times, he put Ngannou down with it. Now, granted, the third time, Ngannou was already kind of hurt, so AJ just went right to it and threw the right hand, hit him in the chin, and down goes Ngannou. At the end of the day, it's heavyweight boxing. People get touched up. Anybody can go to sleep. That's what happens. Now, on top of that, I am happy for Ngannou. Not for the fact that he lost the fight, but for the fact that the man was able to actually make a lot of money, considering what he was making in the MMA. He was pretty much one of the most less paid fighters when it comes to MMA. Not that MMA fighters make a lot of money like that anyway, but for a guy in Francis Ngannou, who has a reputation of knocking people out and stuff like that, you would think he would actually draw a lot more people or sell a lot more tickets or get paid more, which people do come to see him fight and stuff, but it just wasn't happening while he was in the UFC. So within 2 fights in boxing, he was able to make more money than practically all the guys who fought in MMA, period. That's basically what happened within 2 fights, of 2 of his professional fights. And not to mention, he made his highest payday coming off a damn loss against Tyson Fury, which people would say he won the battle, but he lost the war. But in the case against Anthony Joshua, he was never really in the battle, and the war was already over once he got knocked out. But anyway, where does Joshua goes from here? Because a lot of people say, hey, this is an MMA fighter. We expected that. That's true. But there are also a lot of people who said that they thought Anthony Joshua was going to lose against Ngannou. Like, they really had Anthony Joshua losing against Ngannou. And I'm talking about, there were, YouTube pages from, people who likes to talk about boxing. You actually have boxing enthusiasts. You had former fighters and shit really giving Ngannou a chance to win this fight against AJ. So the disrespect towards AJ goes way back in the fight when AJ lost to Andy Ruiz and actually got stopped. Even though AJ in that fight dropped Andy Ruiz, he got overly aggressive. Once Andy Ruiz got up, Andy Ruiz just kind of, countered him and jumped on him. But people tend to forget that AJ and Ruiz had a rematch, and AJ beat Ruiz rather easily in the rematch. But again, this is boxing. Anything can happen. Now, AJ, in my opinion, like I said before, needs to stay with Ben Davison. And if he does that, continues to work on his craft, continues to take boxing serious, continues to, stay busy in the ring, he will definitely do his thing. He will definitely have another shot at becoming a heavyweight champion again. But while he's waiting, I believe he needs to take another fight, because this fight for 2 rounds, he didn't really break too much of a sweat in this fight. So I believe, me personally, I would like to see AJ fight Filip Hrgović. Now, I know Hrgović probably sitting there waiting for his chance, because he's already the mandatory for Usyk's belt. But I would like to see AJ fight Hrgović if Hrgović wants to fight. If not, put Wilder in there with him, because there are a lot of people that thought AJ was scared of Wilder. And every time Wilder has a bad performance, we know Wilder like to make excuses. So on top of that, people still think Wilder could beat AJ. So let's see that fight. And if AJ beats Wilder, we're going to see those same people making up excuses again. But until then, that's all I have. Watch Bold and Understanding. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And on the end of that, new family, peace.